So it's finally happening. The Witcher series is now in its final season. Well, for a lot of fans anyway. And based on all the trailers being ratioed into the abyss, it's already DOA. And in case you missed it, this is the last season for Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia, which, to be honest, is the only reason for seeing the show. And in my opinion, we just got the best we can ever hope for with this 20-second clip. It's been nothing short of a reckoning for a lot of current-day fantasy imposters. Shows like Blood Origin, Wheel of Time, Willow, and Rings of Power. Fans were vindicated. The very same fans who were called pretty much every name in the book, just for having an opinion and independent thought. And now it's Witcher Season 3's turn. But the story of the show's downfall is just as satisfying as watching the entire thing burn, and it starts from former Witcher writer Beau DeMayo. The Witcher former writer recalls staff actively mocking the source material. Beau DeMayo shed a light on some of the lack of respect towards The Witcher's source material noticed by diehard fans in the show. This is of course in reference to the showrunners Lauren Schmidt Hisrich and her gaggle of writers. The article goes on that worldwide recognition of The Witcher is owed to CD Projekt Red's games and that it was never meant to be a like-for-like recreation of the novels. Netflix series has set out to do something similar, following the book's story but changing certain themes, moments, plotlines, and overall personality of some characters to suit its needs. In other words, we're changing the source materials, which is what they did for Season 2. The Witcher started out strong. Season 1 had all the makings of a great fantasy epic. It had Henry Cavill, monsters, sword fights, and other good things. But the agenda crept its way into the season. Small things like this barmaid who won't stop talking. And by the last episode, Geralt gets sidelined to the back of a horse carriage, and it only became worse. The article goes on, those changes do require you have to respect the work before you're allowed to add to its legacy. As writer Beau DeMayo commented during a recent Instagram Q&A session via Sci-Fi and Fantasy Gazette, something he found lacking in The Witcher since some of the writers were not fans or actively disliked the books and games, even actively mocking the source material is a recipe for disaster and bad morale. When Season 2 came in, the only good thing about the show was Geralt. The rest was changed for something else, and for Henry Cavill it was the last straw. He was always one for the fans. He championed faithful adaptations and respect of the source material, which tends to be a massive problem when the showrunners and writers of the show are the complete opposite. So he left the show. This was his dream project, and sacrificing that for the integrity of the literature speaks volumes of his character. In the end, he was chased away by agenda and hubris. As for the show, there's no returning from this, no matter how much they beg. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the next one.